Good morning and welcome to Live Oak. Please rise in body or in spirit for the gathering hymn number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are.
Good morning, and welcome, beloved community. I'm Reverend Joanna. In this sacred space, we gather as one, celebrating the tapestry of our diversity, honoring the boundless love that unites us all. Live Oak Unitarian Universalist Church is unambiguously, unapologetically progressive, and our doors swing wide to embrace all who seek a welcoming place where we celebrate the LGBTQIA+ community, where we know that every identity is a divine expression of humanity, where we commit to the work of dismantling systemic racism and other oppressions, striving for a world where equity, compassion, and justice are the cornerstones of our shared existence. May our worship today be a source of inspiration, a wellspring of courage, and a call to action. Welcome, dear friends, to this place of love, acceptance, and progress.
My name is Crystal Jervis, and I want to give a special welcome to any visitors we have today in person or online. If you haven't already, I encourage you to stop by our visitors table in the Northex after service to sign up for our weekly newsletter, and so we can meet you and answer any questions that you might have. Unitary Universalism is a non-creedal faith. There are no doctrines you have to agree with in order to belong. Instead, we are held together by covenant, our promises to each other in this church and within our religious tradition. Please join me in these words from our historic faith.
Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
We unite with UU churches around the world by lighting the flaming chalice, the symbol of our religion. Today, Teddy will be lighting our chalice. It went out. Here and at home, we light it today with these words by Annie Dillard. We are here to abet creation and to witness to it, to notice each other's beautiful face and complex nature, so that creation need not play to an empty house.
One, two, check. Hello, I'm going to perform Good Luck Babe by Chapel Roan. It's fine, it's cool. You can say that we ain't nothing, but you know the truth. And I guess I'm the fool, with her arms out like an angel through the car sunroof. I don't wanna call it off, but you don't wanna call it love. You only wanna be the one that I call baby. You can kiss 100 boys in bars, shoot another shot, try to stop the feeling. You can say it's just the way you are, make a new excuse, another stupid reason. Good luck, babe, good luck, babe. You'd have to stop the world just to stop the feeling. Good luck, babe, good luck, babe. You'd have to stop the world just to stop the feeling. I'm cliche, who cares? It's a sexually explicit kind of love affair, and I cry, it's not fair. I just need a little love, and I just need a little air. I think I'm gonna call it off, even if you call it love. I just wanna love someone who calls me baby. You can kiss 100 boys in bars, shoot another shot, try to stop the feeling. You can say it's just the way you are, make a new excuse, another stupid reason. Good luck, babe, good luck, babe. You'd have to stop the world just to stop the feeling. Good luck, babe, good luck, babe. You'd have to stop the world just to stop the feeling. And when you wake up in the night, in the middle of the night, with your head in your hands, you're nothing more than his wife. And when you think about me all of those years ago, you're standing face to face with I told you so. You know I hate to say it, I told you so. You know I hate to say it, I told you so. You can kiss 100 boys in bars, shoot another shot, try to stop the feeling. You can say it's just the way you are, make a new excuse, another stupid reason. Good luck, babe, good luck, babe. Have to stop the world just to stop the feeling. Good luck, babe, well, good luck, babe. You'd have to stop the world just to stop the feeling. You'd have to stop the world just to stop the feeling. You'd have to stop the world just to stop the feeling. Thank you.
Today our reading is an excerpt from Untamed by Glennon Doyle. Recently I was holding a town hall type meeting in the Midwest after we opened up an event for questions. I noticed a hand slowly rise in the back of the room. A woman with short gray hair and a gentle, serious face with deep wrinkles slowly stood up. She wore a sweatshirt with an American flag and the word Grandma puffy painted on it. Her hand shook a little as she held the mic. I loved her instantly. She said, "Hi, Glennon. I've been following your work for 10 years, and I came here to ask you a question that I'm afraid to ask anyone else. I feel confused. My nephew now, my niece, I adore him. I'm sorry, her. My granddaughter took a boy to homecoming last year and a girl this year. And now you're gay too? I don't mean to any offense. It's just, why is everybody so gay all of a sudden?" The room fell still and silent. A sea of heads that was turned towards this woman slowly turned back to me. Eyes were wide. I felt the room's collective stress. from her, for me, for all of us. Oh God, was that offensive? Was that wrong? But also, why is everybody so gay all of a sudden? They were worried that we'd all just crashed and burned. I knew we'd finally taken off. Blessed are those brave enough to make things awkward, for they wake us up and move us forward. I said, thank you for asking a question most are too afraid to admit they have. Unasked questions become prejudices. Your niece and granddaughter are lucky to have you. Will you tell me your name? Joanne. Okay, I do know why everybody's so gay all of a sudden. It's those damn GMOs, Joanne. A wave of relieved laughter washed over the entire church. Everything doesn't have to be terrifying after all. This is just life, and we are just people trying to figure each other out, trying to figure ourselves out. I said something like this. There are wild, mysterious forces inside and between human beings that we have never been able to understand. Forces like faith, like love, like sexuality. We are uncomfortable with our inability to comprehend or control these mysteries. We took wild sexuality, the mysteries, undefinable, ever-shifting flow between human beings, and we packaged it into sexual identities. It's like water in a glass. Faith is water, religion is a glass. Sexuality is water. Sexual identity is a glass. We created these glasses to try to contain uncontainable forces. Then we said to people, pick a glass, straight or gay. By the way, choosing the gay glass will likely leave you unprotected by the law, ostracized by your community, and banished by God. Choose wisely. So folks poured their wide, juicy selves into those narrow, arbitrary glasses because that was what was expected. Many lives lived of quiet desperation, slowly suffocating as they held their breath to fit inside. Somewhere, sometime, someone, for whatever courageous, miraculous reason, finally acknowledged their dragon. She decided to trust what she felt to know what she knew, and to dare to imagine an unseen order where she felt to be free. She refused to contain herself any longer. She decided to speak her insides on the outside and just let it burn. She raised her hand and she said, "Those labels don't feel true to me. I don't want to squeeze myself inside of either of those glasses. For me, that's not exactly it. I am not sure what it is, but that's not it." Someone else heard the first one speak and felt electric hope flowing through his veins. He thought, wait, what if I'm not alone? What if I'm not broken at all? What if the glasses system is not broken? He felt his hand raise and his voice rise with a "me too." And then another person's hand rose, and then another, until there was a sea of hands, some shaking, some in fists, a chain reaction of truth, hope, and freedom. I don't think the gayness is contagious, but I am certain that freedom is.
For the past 31 years, Live Oak has been a beacon of acceptance, love, and inclusivity in an area where our values often challenge the status quo. In a world where divisiveness and intolerance seem to grow stronger, we firmly believe in the transformative power of our faith and the positive impact we are having in our area. We invite you to make a financial contribution to help sustain this church's vital work, knowing that every gift, large and small, is appreciated and carefully used in service to our mission. And if you would like to donate electronically, there's that QR code. There's also a card with a QR code in the seat back pockets. Stewardship of this community takes many forms, and all of them are gifts. Gifts of money, gifts of time, gifts of service. Today, we recognize the gift of service with the Rose of Recognition Award, given to an individual who exemplifies the giving of time and talent to help Live Oak advance our mission. The Rose of Recognition is a Texas UU tradition in which we show our appreciation for a volunteer who has showed exemplary service to the church. The grounds of our property have been transformed over the years into sustainable, blossoming beauty. We have won an award for outstanding native plant landscape design and maintenance, and we are a certified wildlife habitat. Perhaps most importantly, we have our own chalice pathway where our loved ones are memorialized. For her work directing this transformation, we now ask Hella Hollebeck to come forward. On behalf of Live Oak UU Church, it is my honor to present you with this rose and to publicly show appreciation for all of the time and energy you have spent planting, weeding, and motivating others to maintain this beautiful park that is our grounds. And now, will the congregation please join me in saying, thank you. Let this time of offering be a reflection of our shared commitment to making a positive impact on the world. Today is also our 5th Sunday collection, and to tell us more, I invite Tim Buckley to come forward.
Four times a year, I have this opportunity to stand before you with my hat in hand and ask for donations. My cause is the Live Oak UU Church's own Facilities Large Project Fund. Through that fund, we make improvements to your buildings and grounds. This fund is separate from the operating budget you vote on every year. The appeal to contribute to the Large Project Fund is made on 5th Sundays. Note, you can donate to the fund at any time by designating your donation specifically to the Large Project Fund. Whether it's planting flowers in the front garden or decorating the hallways, money donated to the fund pays for improvements to the physical structure. Example, it paid for the upgrade in the ground system, in our sound system. But I want to add here, the Buildings and Grounds team is very aware that we are spending donated money, and therefore we are accountable to you. We submit, for everybody to read, a report each month in the newsletter. I encourage you to scrutinize those reports. I and members of the team are always available to answer any questions you have about how the funds are being spent. And we genuinely appreciate and welcome your feedback. Now, please give generously towards the improvement of the physical structure that holds our beloved community. And for this, I thank you.
Thank you today for your presence and your contributions to our ongoing journey of building the beloved community here and in our wider parish.
morning. I am Chris Jarman, your Director of Religious Education, and I want to share a story with you today. And it is one of my favorite books. It's called Julian is a Mermaid. And I'm going to make this work. Yay! The story begins with a boy and his abuela swimming at the YMCA. Any of you ever swam at the YMCA? Yeah. This is where all the good things begin. The boy and his abuela leave the I have such a hard time with this. There we go. The boy and his abuela leave the YMCA and they walk to the subway to go home. This is how you get around when you live in Brooklyn, New York. As he and his abuela board the subway, As he and his abuela board the subway, they are joined by people dressed like mermaids. Julian loves mermaids. And as Julian stares at the mermaids, his imagination soars. The train begins to fill with water, and his shoes float away. He takes off his shirt, and he takes off his shorts, and his hair begins to grow. And then a swirl of fish, every color of the rainbow, rushes around his body, transforming him into a mermaid. And his tail is the color of lilacs and marigolds, and he flips around, and there he sees an indigo starfish swimming towards him with a necklace in its mouth. Vámonos, hijo. This is our stop. They get off the train. They wave goodbye to the mermaids through the window and start walking through the neighborhood. Julian says, Abuelita, did you see the mermaids? Yes, she says, I saw them, hijo. Abuelita, I am also a mermaid. They go inside her apartment, and she says, I'm going to take a bath. You be good. What do you think's going to happen? Well, Julian has an idea, and that idea is to take off his shoes, take off his shirt, and to take off his shorts and throw them on the ground. Then Julian pulls fronds out of Abuela's fern and he uses them to make himself a flower crown and to put tulips in his crown and lipstick on his lips. And then he sees lacy curtains. Ooh, blowing in the wind, and his imagination says, ha, 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 and he pulls it down, and he makes for himself a mermaid tail. And he is fabulous. Uh-oh, Abuela has come out of the bathroom. Is he in trouble? He did make quite a mess. He pulled up her plant and pulled down her curtain. Oh, it's a terrible feeling to feel like you might be in trouble. She walks away. And then she's back, and she has something behind her back. Come here, mijo. And she hands Julian a beautiful string of pink beads. It's a necklace. For me, abuela? For you, mijo, she says. And they go outside and they start walking. And Julian says, where are we going? You'll see, his abuela told him. They round the corner and mermaids. Mermaids, whispers Julian. Like you, mijo. It's the mermaid parade. Let's join them. And they do. And they march in the parade with all the mermaids on Coney Island. Now everyone is a mermaid. Here's a couple pictures of the mermaid parade in Coney Island. that is full of joy of all kinds, where people are authentically themselves and they're just having a good time. And with that, our story is told.
Please rise as you are willing and able for hymn 170. We are a gentle, angry people.
Happy Pride Month. Or here in Central Texas, Happy Pride Summer, because we just keep the party going all the way into August. Austin, really? But frankly, in Texas, I think we deserve more than 1 month. What do y'all think? Today, we are celebrating queer joy. So what exactly is queer joy? Is that like regular joy but with rainbow sprinkles? Yes. Joy with jazz hands? Let's talk about that. Especially that word queer, right? Is it okay to use that word queer? It's been used as a slur before. I don't want to be canceled. So queer has a long and complicated history. It first began being seen in the late 1800s in terms of referring to someone, usually a man, who was gay. It was famously used at the trial of Oscar Wilde. Over the continuing amount of time up until about the late 1980s, it kind of went in and out in terms of being used as a slur, but also being claimed by the LGBTQ community, especially among gay men. And it would often take on a very negative connotation and would be used as a slur in especially conservative times in our country in the 1950s, in the 1980s. Of course, in the 1980s began the AIDS epidemic. And it was at the end of the 1980s that people within, especially the gay male community and the lesbian community, began looking at the way the AIDS crisis was being handled politically, began looking at the rampant homophobia and the fact that just nothing was being done about AIDS, and said, okay, this whole thing of being the nice, quiet, polite gay is not working. We need to be fiercer. We need to show up. And so in 1987, the organization ACT UP was formed. And this was an organization that would show up to do social witness, not just with pretty little rainbows, right? But standing up and saying, we are not going to take this anymore. Out of ACT UP, there were 4 leaders who said, okay, ACT UP, their priority is focusing on AIDS, but we have other problems too. The homophobia at that time was rampant. Gay bashing was just a normal sort of thing where a group of young straight men would go out on a Friday or a Saturday night looking for gays to harass and beat up. And so out of that, they created Queer Nation. Queer Nation from the very beginning was an organization that said, we are going to show up, we are going to show up as we are, and we are not going to try and emulate this heteronormative culture. Yes, queer has an in-your-face sort of impact, and that makes it a strength. In one of their pamphlets, they wrote that being queer is not about a right to privacy. It is about the freedom to be public, to just be who we are. It means every day fighting oppressions, homophobia, racism, misogyny, the bigotry of religious hypocrites, and our own self-hatred. Being queer means leading a different sort of life. It's not about the mainstream, profit margins, patriotism, patriarchy, or being assimilated. It's not about executive directors, privilege, and elitism. It is about being on the margins, defining ourselves and what's beneath the belt and deep inside the heart. Many of us of a certain age are now familiar with the chant, "We're here, we're queer, get over it." That is where this came from. People who were part of Queer Nation would show up at not just at gay bars, but expressly would go to straight bars to say, no, you don't get to corral us into this one little place that is safe for you. When they found out about companies, organizations having homophobic policies, they would go and rally outside them. And so queer today still brings in this revolutionary spirit. It has, of course, also been somewhat softened, as all words tend to be, right? With queer eye for the straight guy, queer as folk. That was another TV show. But it remains a term that is something that many of us today are grabbing onto. And there's different reasons for that, right? Let's be honest, part of it is it's a heck of a lot easier to say queer rather than to continue saying LGBTQIA+. So there is the pragmatic reality. But queer is also a larger umbrella where we are not naming specific identities. Instead, we are creating a container to hold everything that transgresses cisgender and heteronormative expectations. So yes, if you identify as someone who does not fit into the cisgender or heterosexual expectations, queer is a term that you can take for yourself. Again, it is not the word of someone who is trying to assimilate into what passes for normal. But many of us are taking that term for ourselves. I would say, yes, you can use it in terms of like the queer community. It is not a term that I would use about an individual unless you expressly know that they use that term for themselves. Yes, you can say you have a queer minister. Queer joy brings in that fierceness. Queer joy is a fierce happiness, a resistance to the forces that are all around us. Queer joy does not ignore the very painful history that makes up our community and that we have had to deal with and continue to deal with. Queer joy does not ignore the current reality and our fears, Project 2025, of what is to come. I am very concerned right now. We made a lot of progress, and there are some huge forces at work that want us all to go back in the closet or simply not exist. And they are using this for political gain. It's cold-blooded. This did not come out of any principle. New York Times ran a whole story about it, about how 2 years ago, a group of conservatives sat down, looked at all the numbers, decided that gay marriage was not the thing. They really wanted to go after gay marriage, but at that time it was too popular, and so they deliberately chose the trans community, especially trans youth. Queer joy does not put our heads in the sand about this reality. And it doesn't put our heads in the sand about even what capitalism is doing. This is one of the things that, and I understand all of the critiques about rainbow capitalism, but boy, this year I'd love to have some of it back, because these businesses are sending us a very clear message. Target, until last summer, some of us know what I'm talking about. Okay, the Target gay collection, the Target Pride collection is coming out. What are the things we love? What are the things that we hate? And then they were met last year with threats and promises of boycotts. And so, whereas 2 years ago, I could walk into any Target around here and front and center was the Pride collection. Now, depending on where you live, it is either way in the back or doesn't exist. And for all of the complaints about rainbow capitalism, realize this: before this happened last summer, they were hiring LGBTQ designers. They were putting work our way. But that's okay, because, there are other companies standing up for us. I mean, who would have thought Tractor Supply in April, it came out about how they were supporting pride parades. They had all sorts of things, DEI. They had a whole office of DEI. And then some people who did not support that found out and began promising to boycott. I don't think that it even actually happened, but merely the threat of boycott meant that in June, Tractor Supply came out, like Target at least was somewhat subtle about it. Tractor Supply said, oh, no. We are on their knees. We are so sorry, begging for forgiveness, putting out a statement of all the things that they are no longer going to do. They are no longer going to give data to the Human Rights Campaign. They're no longer going to support Pride Parade. And they are also withdrawing their carbon emissions goals. A sermon for another day. But this concerns me, because we are getting a very clear message from businesses. No, we don't have your back. And if Project 2025 comes, we'll just adjust our principles to fit into that. I remember last year, at the start of June, before all of this stuff started happening, I went on HEB, I used the app, went on the app and typed in Pride, and there were a bunch of things at HEB. That was like they had a whole Pride section. I don't know how it is in your HEB, but when I put it in this month, not a single thing. HEB. Queer joy does not ignore those things. But queer joy says we are not going to live lives where we are huddled in fear, where we are weeping at what has happened and what is to come. Queer joy says it is resistance for us to stand up and be joyful and wear our t-shirts, wear our rainbow pins. This is queer joy. And if you are an ally, you get to be part of queer joy too. You get to celebrate it. But I would suggest this. If you don't actually have this shirt, that's okay. But anytime you are going to step out of your door and in your heart say, I am an ally to the queer community, you need to, at least in your mind, be putting on this. Are you going to be Tractor Supply? Are you going to be Target? Or are you going to be, well, David Tennant was the most famous one wearing this recently. Are you going to be the person who says, you have to go through me? Queer joy is resistance. Queer joy understands that we are in a world that often does not want us to exist, and we say, I'm not waiting for your permission. I'm not waiting for your blessing, because I already am a blessing. As part of the manifesto that Queer Nation put out in 1990, they said, using queer as a way of reminding us how we are perceived by the rest of the world. It's a way of telling ourselves we don't have to be witty and charming people who keep our lives discreet and marginalized in the straight world. And when spoken to other gays and lesbians and trans and bisexual and intersex, it's a way of suggesting we close ranks and forget, temporarily, our individual differences because we face a more insidious common enemy. Yeah, queer can be a rough word, but it is also sly and an ironic weapon we can steal from the homophobes' hands and use against them. Be blessed. Be queer or an ally, because this world needs you to be just who you are. And today, we are going to have an outward symbolism of that blessing. And this ritual comes from my colleague and friend, the Reverend Caitlin Coylberg. Today we offer a glitter blessing, a recognition of the sacred beauty inherent in every person. Glitter has long been a symbol for the LGBTQ movement of gritty, sparkly hope in the face of prejudice and oppression, of joy and pride in the face of hatred and bigotry. Glitter is resilient and tenacious. The briefest beam of sunlight causes it to shine out even in the dustiest and dreariest of places, and its beauty comes from its brokenness. Glitter sparkles because it is many different broken pieces coming together, changing in every moment as the light changes. The glitter that we share with each other today is a reminder that each of us is beautiful in our sacred imperfection, our ever-changing selves, our glorious plurality. It is also non-toxic and suspended in a simple aloe gel, safe for your skin. As the music plays, let me ask my helpers and Liz to come forward. Here you go. As the music plays, you are invited to come forward to one of us. We're going to be down here. Point and this is for everyone, whether you identify as queer or not. Point to where on your face or on your hand you would like to receive your glitter blessing, and then you can circle back to your seat. And if you cannot come forward today and you do wish to receive this blessing, please raise your hand and one of us will come to you. From Stardust you have come. Where would you like it? And to Stardust, oops, you will return. You have come, and to Stardust you will return. Stardust you have come, to Stardust you will return. From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. Where would you like it? Where would you like it? Okay. From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. Would you like it? Where? Okay. From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. Where would you like it? From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. Hey, where would you like it? Your hand? Okay. From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. Where would you like it? Okay. From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. Where would you like it? From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. Would you like it? Great shirt. From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. Where would you like it? From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. Right there. From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. From Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. Okay, I'll try. From Stardust you have come. Stardust you have come, and to Stardust you will return. Together, may we make this a place of welcome and healing, of connection and plurality. Together, may we practice compassion and courage, seeing and celebrating and supporting each other. Together, may we be the sparkling force of love that our world needs. This community is a chosen village where our lives are interconnected. Part of the tapestry of this communal journey is sharing the significant milestones, joys, and sorrows in our lives and witnessing the diversity that we hold. One of us may be celebrating a life event while another is mourning a grief. And there's a beauty in that mosaic as we are reminded that the moments of life are transient and ever-changing. And today, Sophie shares, after 5 years of residency and 406 days of waiting, USCIS have approved my green card application, and I am now a permanent U.S. resident. And Jess Orrell shares, congrats to my guests today, Georgette and Janie, on their recent marriage. We love love. May this community draw closer with our shared experiences as we celebrate life's triumphs and navigate its trials together. This week, may you take the opportunity when you can to be peaceful and at ease. May you seek out joy. Part of queer joy is understanding that we don't always have the opportunity to feel joy. Sometimes we are going through something that is too hard, and it's just impossible to have that feeling. And so when we can have it, we celebrate it with fierceness and gusto. Do something this week that brings joy to your heart, and then look around at the world and bring joy to others. Go in peace and go with queerness.
Feel sparkly. Today, this is your invitation to the Faith Development Hour. So we have a few things going on today. But first, the religious educator in me just cannot stop but say, so you know the hymn we just sang about we are angry, gentle people? That was written by Holly Near. Holly Near wrote that while she was in the back seat of a car driving to the march and the memorial for Harvey Milk. It is a call to action. It is a call to fierce queerness. So, today we have a special adult class facilitated by Tegan, and it will be in room 105. And you will be learning about, I'm going to make sure I get it all right. You're going to be learning, exploring the mystical origins of Mormonism, delving into the use of the seer stones, Joseph Smith's treasure-seeking ventures, and the mystical beliefs that shaped the early years of this faith. That will begin at 11:15 in room 105. Everybody else is invited to come to UU Summer Camp in the Common Ground room. We will be painting chalices and making salt paint art pieces of fireworks to celebrate the 4th of July. And if you prefer, we have just tabletop discussions in the fellowship hall. There are questions on a board at each table for you to delve deeper into what we talked about today and to be able to have it. Basically, it facilitates a deeper understanding of what we did and gives you an opportunity to speak to each other and get to know each other better and pull yourselves into community and ourselves into community. So we invite you to seek out any of these venues and get your faith on today. Thank you.
Please join me in extinguishing our chalice with these words by Unitarian Universalist Wayne Arneson. Take courage, friends. The way is often hard, the path is never clear, and the stakes are very high. Take courage, for deep down there is another truth. You are not alone. Let us leave this service with renewal in our spirit and a song in our heart. Please rise for number 1014, Answering the Call of Love. It has been a gift to be together today. Please spend the next 5 minutes talking to someone you don't know. Members, be sure to introduce yourself to any first-time visitors we have. They're the ones with the handwritten name tags, and show them where the visitors table and coffee area is. And may we know the blessings of friendship.